Martian Mishap is the 18th episode of the first season of Mickey Mouse Clubhouse Plus, and as always there will be spoilers from now as I go through the episode chronologically and share some thoughts. And as always, I like to watch these to see how educational they are. There are a lot of opportunities for learning, well, a few opportunities for learning. I think at least one missed opportunity, and I don't love the Mystery Mouse Capal, but in general, it's still a decent episode. Also, I don't care about Martian Mickey. I don't like the character very much, so this was never going to be a favourite. It actually starts off with the picture puzzle, which initially is a great idea. This picture is all scrambled up and the viewer has to try and work out what it is. But the picture is actually a picture of Martian Mickey's spaceship. And I don't think, unless you've seen many pictures of the spaceship, I don't think it's even recognizable as a spaceship. So I think they should have just used a generic rocket shape picture that would have been more recognizable. The viewer might have had a better chance of unscrambling the image. Mickey then gets a video call from Martian Mickey. He's coming to visit. We do get some cool animation as we see the spaceship from Martian Mickey's perspective from the inside. It looks quite cool. And then he crash lands. And we spend the rest of the episode finding the bits of his spaceship that have gone all over. So we get the mouse tools, we get a large bendy straw, a leaf blower, a giant picnic basket, and the mystery mouse capal. And we are asked as a viewer to count how many pieces we need to find, and there are 3. Great opportunity for learning there. There is a lot of viewer interaction with this one. There are quite a few times where Mickey talks to the viewer, and I think that's really great, a really great way to make it more engaging, and I think that that's something that the show often does really well, and that's certainly the case here. And the first place we go to is the forest, and then we have the first mouse tool, which is the mystery mouse capal, and I don't like it because it's Donald. It's Pilot Donald, and I did feel awful because I hadn't realised Donald wasn't there up until that point. But even though Donald is my favourite. But I don't like the fact that we have these alter egos of the main characters. It's okay when we have versions of Pete or versions of Clarabelle. That's absolutely fine. But I don't like having these other versions of the main characters. I don't think it works very well. So it didn't need to be Donald either. It could have been Pilot Pete or Pilot Clarabelle. It didn't need to be Donald. And I didn't like it. But Pilot Donald is able to help get the first piece of the spaceship. We then use another mouse tool, and this is the bendy straw. Goofy uses it to breathe underwater to get a piece from underwater, which I thought made decent sense. And then the third one is the giant picnic basket, and Pilot Donald helps to carry the basket with everybody inside of it to go and get the third piece, which is in the desert. But they can't see the third piece, so they use the leaf blower to blow the sand away to find it. Everybody's happy. They go back to the clubhouse. Pilot Mickey gets what he needs, and then off he goes. He spent his entire visit trying to find bits of his spaceship. I do think the mouse tools in this one were a bit more obvious. Maybe this says more about me, but in recent episodes, I have really struggled to work out how they could possibly use some really bizarre mouse tools up until the reveal, whereas this one, I think with this one, it was a little bit more obvious how they were going to be used, at least before the reveal. For example, I worked out they'd be using the bendy straw before it was revealed. The same with the leaf blower. Maybe the giant picnic basket wasn't as obvious, and as much as I love Donald as a character, I don't like having this Donald alter ego with Pilot Donald. It could have been Pilot Pete, and we have some nice alliteration there as well, so that would have been more favourable. But in general, it's a decent enough episode, lots of viewer interaction, some opportunities for learning. The bit that I didn't think they did well, and this also is in a previous episode, I can't remember which one, but Mickey asks the viewer, do we need to move this way or that way? And there are arrows on screen. But it's such a missed opportunity to say, do we need to move it to the right or to the left? I feel like viewers, even if they don't know their right and left, they would still understand the general concept, and it's never too early, in my opinion, to at least begin helping learn about left and rights. I don't know how old I was when I learned the difference. I have no idea at all. But I feel like it was a missed opportunity for viewers who are ready to start to learning about that, to show them that visual representation with the arrows on screen. So, missed opportunity. They also missed this opportunity in an episode a few episodes ago. But other than that, decently educational, a well-written narrative. Don't really care for Martian Mickey, but ultimately, Martian Mishap is not a bad episode of Mickey Mouse Clubhouse Plus.